All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 1 o'clock Wednesday. This is going to be only really pertaining to Rocket right now. Let me turn that off. I bought puts on Rocket yesterday. I sold them for decent profit, up about $500. I sold those puts at 32 and change. It is now pushing down to the $29 mark and below. I bought calls on this earlier for about the $34 range. So right now those are in the red. I also bought shares at about 32 and change. So those are in the red. This is not telling you what to do, but let's look at what the facts we have going on here. Yesterday it shot up 70%. Today it opened at maybe, 20 something percent down from that. And then it's kind of continued this downtrend to the 30% mark. Since open, it's gone down. Let's see, it opened at 37 and it's hit that. So it's lost $10. It's got plenty of room to rebound maybe today or tomorrow into that $34 range. Could also continue a downtrend before that into the $25 range. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to hold on to my positions in Rocket at the moment. I don't want to sell for a loss like that today. I'm just going to keep them and ride it out. Nothing else aside from SOS is making a move worth talking about, except maybe OCGN, but I'm not following that. So that's outside of my ball game today. Today I'm going to follow Rocket, and we're going to see where it leads us. If it does hit a lower bottom, I will probably load up some more just to average down my position and mitigate a potential loss when it does kind of rebounds. But I'm going to hold out and see what happens because we're at 1 o'clock, and this is a huge downward ladder going to the downside today. It hasn't been a fast ladder. It's been kind of a slow walk. As you can see, we are 4 hours in and 4.5 hours in, and it's taken that long to move about, 15% or so. So it is a slow walker. There have been some big sell-off points, but it's still kind of bouncing at this $29 mark. Had I hold those puts, it would have been great. But I'm not mad about it. Let's let them go. I'm still doing okay on that portfolio there. But you know what? Everyone who says, I told you it was going to hit 29, told you it was going to go down, they are correct. And everyone who said it would go up before, they are correct. So believe who you want to believe. I'm going to grab some lunch and I have some work to do, so I'm not going to pay a whole lot of attention to what it's doing. As long as it kind of floats in this area, it's okay. I'll hold it overnight. I'll wait till tomorrow and see what comes up. The price for the puts at this point, the risk for it to go down to 25 or something is pretty great. I'm going to pull this up on the main chart here on a 10-minute and just back it up to what we saw. So even entering, this is the wrong chart. My bad. There we go. So this is where we're at prior to liftoff. You were kind of where it started. So let's keep that in mind. I mean, it was a 3-day run. This was a slow run, 24 to 28. And today we're down $10. But yesterday, the move at the floor was at 29. So you're kind of filling back into where it started, which could very easily let it just bounce back right off of that floor and give us a little dead cat back up to 34. So that's what I'm looking for right now. Obviously, I'm not going to sweat if it drops to 27 or 26. That's okay. It's going to be completely okay with me. If we're sitting in a loss, the best thing to do is to add in, not take that big L. If you keep taking L's, you're never going to move the right direction, and your portfolio is going to look really sad and pitiful. And you're going to say stocks suck, and you're going to get discouraged, and you're going to get down on yourself for making emotional decisions. We have 3 hours to go in the regular day trading hours. Anything could happen. It took 4 hours for it to move this far. Could drop another 5 or 10%. That is very, very reasonable for it to touch down here in this $28 range. Or we could see it reverse and pull back out of this. Looking at the other loss losers for the day, this is kind of what's happening, right? And if we look at the ones that are in the green, let's pull them up. Come on, baby. Those had ups and downs. Let's see if we have one that has a similar chart pattern. GME, not really. These are big bounces. Something like space had a big bounce and it's moving to the upside. Neo and tech is hurting. Tesla looks like it's kind of doing the same. Down, up, big down, big down. These are going to come back. So let's not worry. Let's not freak out. If you're out there thinking about selling for a loss, please, I implore you, unless you bought this thing at $40, don't sell it for a loss. Hang on to it. Let it, give it time to come back a little bit. Give it time for people to look at it and go, this is good. Everyone's talking about how undervalued Rocket Mortgage is, especially after earnings and after all of the good news that just came out around it. Obviously, it wasn't going to stay 70% up, but it could stay out a little bit earlier. That 33 was a decent entry to get out at 36. If you bought it, just hold it. That's cool. If you're buying it now, even better. I have my finger on the trigger to add a little more in Cash App. My Robinhood account is loaded up. TD is loaded up. We're all in on Rocket right now to the upside, and I only needed to move $4 to be a happy camper. $4. That's all it needs to go. It might go down. It might go up. I don't know yet. We're going to see what Power Hour brings. It's got decent volume, trading at 133 million. Look at some of these other ones that took a hit. Churchill took a hit. Zoom took a hit. Visker's taking a hit. Fiverr's way down. It's a lot of red happening. There's a couple green candles on the board, on my board anyway. But overall, a lot of them are taking a dump. So I implore you, if you're freaking out right now because you bought in and it dropped 8%, remember, it dropped 8% in about a 8-10 minute window. That's what it fell. And it could just as easily bounce back up in that same time frame. So let's just hold on. Normally I tell people mitigate their losses. If you have a little more, add into this dip. It has been floating at 29. It could take another step down. Be smart. Don't risk something you're not worth losing. If you've got a ton of money in it, I get it. If you've got a couple dollars in it, not that big a deal. But I implore you, don't panic sell. If you put into this company and you want it to hit 34, don't take an L because at lunchtime you lost a couple dollars. I could be down $1,000 at lunchtime and do what I did yesterday. And this is a very important lesson from yesterday. Very important lesson. I bought into Rocket at 20% up, had instant buyer's remorse, and sold it for a loss of about, $100 and something. Put it back into a different stock, and it sat there and went absolutely sideways. I watched Rocket go up 54 more percent. I gave up about $5,000 that I could have took out of Rocket yesterday because I made a rash, emotional decision shouldn't have made. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't sell it. If you feel down and out, definitely. However, you could hold on to it. And let's just say you bought it at 35 today, thinking it was going to go up, and you sell it right now and you take that hit. You could get half of that money back that you're down if you hold on and let this thing go back up and do what it's going to do and hit 30 or 31 bucks. If you're trying to make a ton of money just today, this might not be the stock. It might be. I mean, there's nothing stopping this from even going back up to where it opened at 37. If it just does a nice big cup and handle, I'm going to zoom out. If it forms that and ends somewhere at 32 bucks today, tomorrow will be a good day. Tomorrow will be to the upside. We're not looking for stocks right now that are going to go up here to 50 bucks. Anyone who thought it was going to 50 today is out of their freaking mind because it's just not. Those are few and far between. However, we be realistic and we look at this chart and we go, we could bottom out and kind of get a reversal. That's what we need to see. A nice consistent reversal. Those huge volatile movements, those aren't good for us. We like to see them. They're exciting, but they're not good for the actual stock. If we look at the 1 minute, we can see it swing up. This is why it's important to back up. Look at the 2 minute, slight swing up. But also look at this little swing and a dip. So we need to pay attention to these. 3 minute, 3 minute looks like more of a step ladder. Our 5 minute, step ladder. Our 10 minute, step ladder, right? But what we need to find is that floor. We need to find that bottom resistance. You know, our RSI level down here is at 30 bucks. So we're below that for sure. However, the fight is strong right there at that RSI, and it's been there now for 40 minutes, pretty much. We've been floating there. So it's not all bad. I look at some of these red days like this and think that's just an opportunity to mitigate our loss and pull it out and add to it and ride it back up a little bit, because anyone that bought it and rode it up to 70 and sold it would love to buy it again and do it one more time. Look at this. Boom. Right here. If you bought in right here, 29 bucks yesterday, $29, and sold at 41, you're crushing it. You could do it again today. Let's let it go down. Let it go down, add up a little bit, and ride it back up. That's what we're looking for. So I just wanted to throw out a quick video about this. I'm going to end the live, and I'll come back later in the day because I got a bunch of stuff to do, and my day is going to be kind of boring as far as streaming this. But that's where I'm at. I'm not selling my shares because it dipped. I'm not taking the L. I'm going to ride it out. We're going to ride out the options that I've got. I average down on those, and we're going to see what happens. So I'll see you guys closer to the end of the day. Good luck out there.